Hello, sports fan. This is Steven here with Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. We're going to be covering what are the Sacramento Kings actually doing. Before I get right into this, I'm going to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you know the updates, all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into it. After getting rid of De'Aaron Fox, you have to ask yourself, what's the real goal of Sacramento Kings? When you think about this, having Zach LaVine, having DeMar DeRozan, having Keegan Murray, having Sabonis, they have a lot of offense, and you added Dennis Schroeder, who's been playing in the EuroLeague very well, in that World Championship very well. But you just ask yourself, what's the ultimate goal? What's the direction of the team? You know, what are they doing? Who are the leaders? And you're coming into this season asking yourself this based on, okay, when you're getting rid of De'Aaron Fox, you should have a clear-cut plan. You should have a clear-cut plan for where you're going and how you're doing. Are you getting younger? Are you going to reset the team? What are you doing? So they have a lot of money tied up in 3 players. And you just ask yourself, does this team ever want to get out of just being mediocre? Do they ever, outside of that one little playoff run they had 2 or 3 years ago, ask yourself, is Sacramento committed to winning? Are they committed to building a brand of basketball? Like, what is the ultimate definition? And you just look and you just ask yourself, yes, they have a lot of offense, but there's no real defense. Yes, they have a lot of guys that can ISO basketball. DeMar DeRozan has a pull-up jumper, mid-range. Zach LaVine can dunk, and he can give you 23 points a night. And Sabonis can give you several rebounds and putting it right back up on the glass. But you've got to ask yourself, what is there? Even with Malik Monk, there's no clear definition of what his role is. Yes, he came off and got 6th Man of the Year. But I think from a standpoint, they're playing with no direction. They're playing with no real type of plan. They're playing with no real goal of what they're doing. And you got to think, from what they had with De'Aaron Fox, they had something special. And, you know, getting rid of a coach and then all of a sudden getting rid of your star player, it's no real clear-cut direction. So the Sacramento Kings for the last couple of years have been very bad. They've been very bad to the point where we don't talk about them in any capacity on the major scale. We don't talk about them in the playoff picture. We don't talk about them in the future stars of what could be in the NBA. We don't talk about them as possible playoff threats in years to come because of what they're drafting or putting together. But at this point in time, what's the direction of the Sacramento Kings? Does ownership not care? Does ownership just see this as a little trinket that they're using? The people of Sacramento deserve better. And when you think about just the overall product of the Sacramento Kings has been terrible. Nothing to write home about, nothing to be braggadocious about, nothing to even hold your hat to. So with that being said, the Sacramento Kings at this point should get rid of their best players and try to rebuild. Because there's no point in keeping around a Zach LaVine who's making hefty amounts of money. DeMar DeRozan is making hefty amounts of money. If you're going to be bad, at least tank out. So you can get one of these good players and then build around that person. But it seems like for some reason Sacramento can't build around anybody. It doesn't matter if it's DeMarcus Cousins. It doesn't matter if it's De'Aaron Fox. It doesn't matter if it's Sabonis. It doesn't matter anybody. And with that being said, you just look at the ownership down. You look at the ownership. You look at the president. You look at the general manager. You look at all these transactions that they've made, all these trades that they've made, all these things. What has come of it that's positive? Nothing. Nothing. So that leads me to believe they don't have a real direction. After getting rid of De'Aaron Fox, I would have had a plan. I would have had a plan to either go after a star or either make my own star. Fielding my own star from what I have currently on the roster. And I don't feel like you have that. So Sacramento King fans, I apologize, but I think you guys are going to be getting blown out every night with no real defense. So Sacramento King fans, NBA fans, get in the comment section below. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus. We will see you on the very next episode.